CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky calling for more teenagers to get vaccinated against COVID-19, citing recent spikes in hospitalizations among that age group. In a statement Friday, Dr. Walensky said, quote, "I am deeply concerned by the numbers of hospitalized adolescents and saddened to see the number of adolescents who require treatment in intensive care units or mechanical ventilation. Much of this suffering can be prevented." Fox News medical contributor Dr. Janette Nesheiwat is here to discuss. So, Dr. Janette, if you would, first of all, tell us more about, is it called the B.1.617 variant?
Yes.
What is that, if you would, and why is it attacking teenagers? And also, while you're at it, how high is the transmission rate among teenagers?
Yes, so Harthel, this is the variant that we saw predominantly in the UK and then made its way here into the United States. And the reason why we're seeing it in teenagers now, we're seeing about 12.5% increase in teenagers because the younger population are the ones that aren't vaccinated so much as the older population. We have, fortunately, about 75% of the older population who are fully vaccinated. And this virus will attack and infect whoever we allow the opportunity for it to infect. So that's why it's important, if you're 12 and older, to speak to your doctor, to see your pediatrician, because you are most likely eligible for the vaccine, unless, of course, you have any underlying severe allergy to any of the ingredients. But it is unfortunate to see this increase in the number of teenage hospitalization. A third of them had to be put in the ICU, and even some of them on ventilators. And it's important to note, Arthel, that 30% of these children were perfectly healthy. The rest of them did have underlying medical disease like asthma or obesity or neurological disorder.
And still, we don't know, of course, at this point, because it's still in discovery, we don't know about the long-term effects that this virus will have on that age group, right?
You're absolutely right. Some of the adults that we're seeing are having long-term fatigue, shortness of breath, headaches. Could that occur in the younger population as well? It is a possibility. That's why we have to look at the risks versus the benefits. The benefits of the vaccine can, for most people, can outweigh and be easier on your body than if you look at actually having COVID or any potential side effect of the vaccine.
Yeah. So is there something inherent insulting in the vaccine lotteries? I mean, when there are millions of people across the globe who are literally dying because they can't get timely access to the vaccine, yet mercurial Americans, need a financial reward to get vaccinated.
So we have vaccinated, about 63% of Americans have had at least one dose of the vaccine. But we have to keep in mind there are some parents, some patients that have questions that are unanswered. They have concerns, legitimate concerns. Some of them are fearful of potential side effects. So there's a lot of questions and answers that are still unanswered. Sometimes it's a matter of availability as well and accessibility. That's why I think it's so important for community leaders, role models, athletes, celebrities, our teachers, priests, anyone who has the ability to be an example, be a role model, to go out, get your vaccine, and so that we can help encourage and motivate others to get it, because it is something that can help us end this pandemic, can save your life, can keep you out of the hospital. But fortunately, even though we've seen a decline in the number of vaccinations in the United States, we are also sharing our vaccine supply with the rest of the world, which I think is really important.
Right. Listen, of course, there are people who have underlying conditions and valid reasons to not get the vaccine. I understand that. What I meant was the people who were like, well, I don't want to be bothered. I just don't feel like it. You can't tell me what to do, whatever that reason is. And then you throw some money in front of them. They're like, okay, well, I'll go get it. So clearly there was no real biological or biochemical reason for not getting it. I don't know. It
is a personal choice, and sometimes we do need a little nudging, and I think whatever it takes to save lives is important, whether it's free tickets to a sporting event or a savings bonds or the lottery. Anything we can do to help save the lives of our community of Americans, I think it's reasonable to take those opportunities.
Okay. Next time I'm going to wait so I can get in line to win $1 million. I'm just saying, I don't want to get, but listen, there's an argument to both sides.
Maybe you'll get a booster, though. If you've had Moderna or Pfizer, you might require a booster, and that'll be your opportunity.
No, I'm going to follow the rules. I'm fine with
Yeah.
that. So I know that you were just talking about the global distribution that President Biden is going to be distributing somewhat 80 million vaccines across the globe, which is very much needed. Let me ask you before we go, because this is a global pandemic, as we are planning the calendar to travel during the summer, would you encourage us to do international travel, or is this a good time to explore our beautiful country?
Absolutely. If you are fully vaccinated, it is safe to travel. Of course, take precautions. Don't travel to areas where there's massive outbreaks, where there's thousands of people dying each day, for example, in India. But fortunately, with 80 million vaccines that are going to be distributed to places like South America, Africa, Asia, India, hopefully we can combat this pandemic globally, and we can continue to travel abroad, not just within the United States.
All right, Dr. Janette Nesheiwat, always a pleasure. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.